What's up, agents? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's hanging in there, being as safe as you guys need to be. So it is that time with master difficulty just on the horizon, and it being just over 2 years since our definitive, comprehensive, ultimate healer medic build. It's time to revisit it and find out what is going to be the best build to keep our team alive should you choose to go the route of the medic and team damage buffer. So unlike the last video, I'm only going to be showcasing one build. It's the one build that I think will work the best in basically every situation. So the best part about this is you can use any of the healing skills you want. You may want to find a way to work in the BTSU gloves as we talk about in the previous definitive build video. But for the most part, even if you are using the Hive, just running with this build the way it is and swapping out your healing skills will be just fine. Before getting into the nitty-gritty of the video, also, I want to go over some basic gameplay mechanics and caveats, pitfalls that will happen. The strength of this build is actually the weakness of this build. And what I mean by that is, if your team is not aware that you're playing this type of healing build and they don't know how to take maximum advantage out of it, it will put everybody at a disadvantage. So, what does that mean? It means the team should be somewhat close together, nearby, where you can keep everybody healed. We'll get into it more, but specifically because of the future initiative gear set, we want to be able to have that healing multiplying on our team where we're healing multiple teammates at a time, and basically it keeps us provided, and this is the other part of the caveat, each team member should have hopefully 1+ million armor. As we spoke about in the last video, you can't complain about the healer not keeping you alive if you only have 750,000. You're getting hit for 1 million damage and you're complaining you're not being healed. You know, most of us have, 300,000 health or something. So you might be down in 1-2 shots before you could get a chance to be healed. And that's on you for not having armor or not playing smart if you know that you don't have enough armor for the tier difficulty that you're trying to do. That being said, we're going to assume that you guys all know how to play smart this way. You're going to get the best bang out of the buck by staying near the healer, the medic, and taking full advantage of everything this build has to offer. Alright, so hopefully by the end of this video you guys have learned something new, got some entertainment out of it. If so, smashing that like button would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully by the end of this video I will have earned your guys subscriptions. Best thing you can do to help my channel is to share this video. And anything you would do different or anything you guys want to see in the future, leave me a comment down below. Alright, let's get into the build. Alright, agents, as far as the specialization go, nothing has changed. We are using the Survivalist. This will give us access to the Mender Seeker Mine, which is a go-to for a lot of different builds. It's basically the fire and forget of any of these healing skills, is it will move around on its own and basically heal whatever seems to be in the most need of healing. It gives us Triage Specialist. This is 15% outgoing healing to the rest of the team, and since we then get healed for X percentage amount of whatever we heal, depending on the build, that's going to be bonus healing for us as well as the teammates that then get healed as well. We are going to get 10% bonus protection from elites. We will get the distributed repair, which means when we use our armor kit, it will heal over 5 seconds instead of instantly, and it will apply to all of our allies within 20 meters around. So if for any reason you're fully out of charges, you have another way to heal, you can pop a med kit to help heal your teammates. We get access to the Survival Tack link, so that's 10% bonus damage to any status affected enemies. Also, keep in mind that we do get access to the Incendiary Grenade, so we can light enemies on fire and then our teammates would do more damage to them. Crunch Time gives us 10% additional haste when we're in cover. This is a small bonus. I don't take advantage of it often, but it is there working in the background. Last thing, not too much of a concern for us, but we get the scraping by 5%, only 5 ammo per second while we're in a cover-to-cover move. Really, I've never been in a position where I need to be doing cover-to-cover moves to get ammo, so yeah, but that is a thing. All right, that's it for the specialization. All right, guys, now we're going to move on to the weapons, and this is where the most significant changes have happened across the board for any dedicated medic or healer build. So first we're going to cover the Doctor Home. Now, previously, in the previous video, and this was 2 years ago when it came out, it would drop a kit on the ground that only the medic could see, and if the medic picked it up, it would grant 15% armor to the entire team. It can't give bonus armor. This has been changed. Now, as soon as a marked enemy dies, everybody instantly gets the kit. It's immediately applied. There's no need to get out of cover, go and get it. So that's a lot more functional, is a lot more strategic. It's only 10% of our armor now versus 15%, but given the ease of use, I will take that. So you can use the Doctor Home. I don't actually run it because I have some other preferred weapons, but there is a solid argument that that would be the best primary weapon for the medic build, specifically to heal the team. Now, why am I not using the Doctor Home? Because I'm using a rifle that, coincidentally, they changed the aesthetics of the Doctor Home. What the cooler looks like is what we're using now. The Doctor Home used to look like, but now we got the cooler. And the cooler is a very, very strange weapon. So first thing you'll notice, 0% damage. So I'm not going to bother maxing out the weapon damage since it will never do damage. The primary and singular focus of this weapon, first of all, it has unlimited ammo. It is a water gun. And what it effectively does is spraying down our allies will build stacks, up to 5 stacks. 1 stack will decay every 2 seconds. And as long as they have any one single stack, this will add 50% hazard protection. So as you guys can see in the background video, basically the whole run through Legendary, I was just sitting here spraying the team down. I'm going to assume in Master, if they have status effects, they're going to hit that much harder. They're going to burn that much longer. They're just going to be that much more potent. So, with the vision of Master difficulty ahead, I am preemptively choosing this weapon as my primary weapon to try to keep the team buffed up so they don't encounter a status effect in the first place. Moving on to our secondary weapon. So, the natural go-to, and quickly, let's note, there's been a big buff. Reformation and Perfect Reformation their bonus has been doubled. Reformation went from 30% repair skill to 60% repair skill when you get a headshot. Perfect Reformation from 40 to 80%. So this is a 15-second buff for simply getting a headshot. So just by default, obviously using the designated hitter, the marksman rifle is going to get the most bang for the buck for the healing. If you are good with marksman rifles, if you don't have a problem getting those headshots, this is what I would recommend. Secondarily, and what I tend to use, I just use a P416 with Reformation on it. Now with the buff, that's still a 60% bonus to my repair skill, so I can basically instantly get that Reformation procced. The P416 is much more user-friendly, in my opinion, for actual gameplay, to be shooting the enemy, do some damage, keep Reformation procced. So my go-to currently, and this may change, and use whatever you're going to use, I'm using the cooler alongside the P416 with standard Reformation on it. For the offhand, you have a myriad of choices. You could go with something like a backup boomstick and Future Perfect to be able to proc and overcharge if you see a weakened enemy and you can take them down. This would be good for some bonus healing, maybe to get some of your skills back quicker during the overcharge. Another thing you consider is weapons with Vindictive. That way you can get that 16% crit hit chance, crit hit damage for 20 seconds for the entire team, provided that you can kill on an enemy that's affected by a status effect. Remember, you have the incendiary grenades at your disposal. And then another one, since we're talking about grenades, would be to go Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer has actually gotten a nerf, and I would say it's probably not worth it. It used to be 30% damage to armor and minus 20% movement speed. The damage to armor is now reduced down to 15% damage to armor, and it's a 10-second duration. If you don't have a better perk, I would go with this. For me, it just seems that Future Perfect would probably be the no-brainer, just in the off chance that you can get an overcharge. Otherwise, Vindictive just above the team if you get a chance. All right, agents, now let's get into the gear. So the primary focus is going to be around the Future Initiative gear set. So we're going to want to have repair skill every place that we can get it here. The 2-piece for Future Initiative will give us 30% additional repair skill. 3-piece will give us 15% additional skill haste, thus lowering our cooldowns, as well as 30% additional duration to our skills. This will affect things like the cloud from the Mender Mine, from the Chem Launcher, how long the Fixer Drone and Mender Mine will stay out, things like that. But the big one is the 4-piece ground control, and this is what brings the whole build together. So ground control is going to basically do 2 specific things for us. The first one is when any member of our team is at full armor, they will get the ground control bonus, which gives them a 1.15 multiplier. That's a 15% amplified damage. This damage bonus applies to both skills and weapon damage and status effects. The second part that really goes hand in hand with this is anytime we heal an ally, we heal ourselves and everybody within 5 meters of us, standardly for 60% of the healing amount on our initial ally. Now, because we're going to choose to use the backpack with strategic combat support, this is going to increase that healing from 60% to 120% of the amount we healed our ally for. Now, here is, as we mentioned in the beginning, if our ally is within 5 meters of us, we heal ourselves and we heal everybody else. That's that ally again. Now, if we have 2 allies within 5 meters of us who are taking damage, I'm healing both, and then both of them are healing me, and then I'm healing it. You guys see where this goes. So this goes back to what I was initially saying, where all you need is enough armor to withstand any, basically, well, I'd say 2 incoming hits, because you can get hits pretty close back to back. But this is where it all comes together. Ground control with strategic combat support. Again, repair skill mods everywhere. Repair skill for every minor attribute. Next, we have to talk about our 2 other slots. So, first I'm going to talk about the chest piece, because this is where we can get an additional talent. Use Alp Summit. Alp Summit has been nerfed, as many of these have. As a lot of you guys know, the 1 piece has been nerfed. So it used to be 20% repair skill. It's down to 18% repair skill from the Alp Summit piece. But we are going to go with Alp Summit for that. We are going to want repair skill and skill haste on here. But most importantly, we want empathic resolve. I will quickly note, if we went with Future Initiative, we could get that amplified damage bonus kicked up to 25%. So this would be effectively the same as Glass Cannon without any of the drawbacks. However, there is a perk that's even better. Now, there's an argument for Kinetic Momentum. Kinetic Momentum can buff our skill damage up to 60%, but we have enough healing, especially if everybody's playing the way they should. And this is where Empathic Resolve is clutch. Because anytime the team is at full armor, they do that amplified damage bonus. But as soon as they are below full armor, they don't get the bonus. If they're healed immediately, they're basically back to full armor already. But what if we throw in a 13 to 15% additional damage bonus to the skills and weapon damage just for the purposes of getting healed, and we make that last 20 seconds? What that means is effectively, no matter what the situation, they're going to have some sort of damage bonus, and most of the time, if everybody's playing effectively and efficiently, they're going to have both damage bonuses stacked up at the same time the majority of the time. I will quickly note the difference between the 13% and 15%. We only hit that full 15% bonus when we're in overcharge, so that's not happening very often, unless for some reason you're running in a full team, everybody's running BTSU gloves and some form of overcharge for the team. So most of the time it's going to be a 13% bonus to each of the team members because we're at skill tier 6, and it will only be a 6% bonus to ourselves. Great trade-off. Our job is not to do damage. Our job is to keep people healed, keep status effects off of them, and then try to keep that Reformation proc for even better healing. Oh, and of course to follow our team around so that we can make sure to be in the right position to heal as many of our teammates as we can. All right, guys, so the last piece of gear we're going to be looking at is the Chill Out Mask. And you say, Chill Out Mask, that's Gila gear. Why would we be using Gila in a medic build? And don't get me wrong, that 5% armor bonus is nice, but the big reason is we can get 60% repair skill on this. We have 2 mod slots. Each of those can take up to a 20% repair skill. That's 40 right there. So if you naturally, innately get repair skill on your Chill Out Mask, you can optimize that, and you can re-roll the armor core into skill tier. Thus, we have a medic with a little bit more armor, but most importantly, this is the single most amount of repair skill we can get on any single piece of gear. If you don't have this, again, you could substitute quite a few different things out, but really, the top tier master difficulty healer, in my opinion, is absolutely going to take advantage of the Chill Out Mask. Really quick, in case for any reason you don't want to or you don't have the Future Initiative backpack, I will note 2 talents that I'll quickly talk about on the backpack should you decide to run a brand set. You do have Safeguard, which was buffed from 100 to 130% repair skill when you're at full armor. So that's the only caveat. You have to be at full armor, and then you do that bonus repair skill for everybody else in the team. Something that I think would probably be even better would be something like Energize. Using an armor kit equals, it gives you an overcharge. It's got a 60-second cooldown, so basically, every 75 seconds you can have this procced. This is one of the easiest ways to get an overcharge going. Also keep in mind that when you use an armor kit, it does heal the entire team. So this might be an effective way to go if you are not running the Future Initiative backpack for any reason. All right, guys, we're going to quickly go over the skills and basically where they're at as far as what they're putting out. So we got the Chem Launcher. With this build, min-max the way it is, we got 9 charges. We're healing 1.57 million with the initial burst, and then it's healing 310,000 per second for 7.5 seconds. So that's a significant amount of healing there. Each charge has a 22-second cooldown. And the cloud that we're going to put out is 4.8 meters in radius. So it's a pretty big cloud from the Chem Launcher. It's also one of the most universal, as you can control dropping on us or aiming at a target that's far away. If you're good with the Chem Launcher, I highly recommend it. Next we got the Hive, the Restore Hive. So the Restore Hive will have up to 36 charges. We'll be healing about 480k base per charge. Each charge will have a 2-second cooldown. If you do go with the BTSU gloves, this will be a 1-second cooldown. And it does have almost a 13-meter radius around it in which we can heal our teammates and any proxies within that range. Now we have the Fixer Drone. The Fixer Drone will heal about 145,000 per second. It's got an 18-second cooldown. And basically you just aim this at whichever teammate you think needs the healing. Double tap for it to come back to you. Pretty easy to use. And the Fire and Forget, the Mender Seeker Mine. The Mender Seeker Mine will heal 140,000 to anything within the cloud. It's got a cloud duration of 12 seconds. We only have an 18-second cooldown on this guy. And the radius is 3.9 meters. The one downside to the Mender Mine is the Mender Mine does not discriminate what it heals. If you do not need healing, and your turret across the way does, it will go over and create a cloud on the turret, start healing the turret. If you then need healing all of a sudden, and the Mender Mine comes back, it cannot heal you. It cannot disperse another cloud dispense another cloud until the previous cloud has dispersed. So keep that in mind. That's one of the caveats, and I do use the Mender. I like it, but I've shied away in some harder content because it's just not as reliable as going with something like the Fixer Drone and the Chem Launcher, or just sticking the Hive right out in the middle of the field there where it can heal everybody it needs to. All right, guys, I'm trying to keep this video short. Don't want it to get too long. So just to wrap it up there, So what this build is, we're trying to maximize our healing while maximizing the damage buffs of our team, both for rewarding them for being at full armor, as well as rewarding them for taking the risk of popping out, doing some damage, taking some damage, getting that empathic resolve damage buff, double dipping in the damage buff, and just trusting in the healer. Staying close together and making sure that you just have enough armor and you play smart enough that you don't go down by getting 1 or 2 shot. The one other job that we have would be to make sure that we're proccing Reformation, if that's what we're going with, to keep our healing up as max as possible, or being on anti-status effect duty, spraying everybody down with the cooler. I actually really like this weapon. I had a lot of fun playing with it in the background gameplay, and it's I don't know. I enjoy using the healer. I think in master difficulty, where it could actually make a difference, I'll probably enjoy it that much more. I hope you guys don't mind playing it. All right, agents. So that's pretty much it for the cooler medic build. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it will do really good in the endgame content when we get into the master difficulty. Let me know what you guys think. Leave comments down below. Did I miss anything? Would you guys run it differently? What skill combos do you think will work best? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, if you don't mind, smash that like button for me. You guys be as safe as you need to be, and I will catch you guys in the Dark Zone or coming up here in Brooklyn. All right, check you guys in the next one. Peace out.
An agent is no longer in your group. Hostiles detected.
Heads up, agent. Cleaners on site. Take out those hostiles and secure the garden. How the hell did they transport that thing? Agent, the cleaners have a napalm mortar. I think I know why we lost contact with Parker. We want to secure the garden. We're gonna need to take out that turret. Heads up, agent. These cleaners must have developed a new healing system. They're not wearing the regular gear. So if you're planning on going after the English, you need to find a new way to handle it.